Just a short time ago, I spoke with a veteran Israeli hostage negotiator, Moty Cristal, about Israel's next steps. So tell us what happens, in your view, to all of these hostages now that the fighting is resumed.
Well, I think that we need to still keep the clear distinction between those hostages who are considered to be a burden for Hamas in their perspective, the way they are perceived in public international media. For example, still the remaining kids, the remaining, in particular, the Bivas family, the two very young, 10 months old redhead kids, and the women and the elderly men. These hostages, I do hope that Hamas will find the opportunity to free them in consideration for, let's say, not a ceasefire, but maybe limiting the attacks, or maybe a couple of hours, because it's in the interest of Hamas to continue satisfy the Qatari and the American mediator, as well as not be perceived as those who operate against the core of Islam and use this innocent kids, women and elderly women as men and women as a human shield.
So you can do two things at once, you're saying, because in other words, when the fighting starts up, that doesn't mean the hostage negotiations are called off. In your experience, has that happened in the past, where you might have a ceasefire for some time, they start hostilities again, and you can still have negotiations behind the scenes? How might that work?
Well, yes, we had it at the beginning of the ground operation, where the hostilities stopped for a couple of hours in order to allow humanitarian trucks to go inside Gaza. The same could apply here if Hamas will be willing to finalize or release the remaining of what we call the humanitarian hostages. If this will happen, Israel, I guess, will cease the fire for a couple of hours to allow the exchange, and probably will resume it immediately after.
I'm curious what you think about the American hostages, which has obviously been a focus of ours here. Some of these American hostages that we expected to be higher up on the list or to be released earlier didn't end up being on the list, and there was some talk that maybe Hamas was holding them longer because they thought they were more valuable, could create more leverage. Do you think that was the case? And if so, would there have been anything maybe that the Biden administration could have done differently, whether it would be in public or behind closed doors?
Well, I think that the overall support performance of the Biden administration was of utmost importance, relevance, and very, very smart. The U.S. used all the leverage they have on Qatar in order to allow the release of the hostages. The Biden administration understands very well the sensitivity of Israel, of the Israeli public in particular, less the government, more the public, for releasing those who have only American citizens, because all the American citizens are actually Israeli citizens as well, except of the two first hostages who were free without any exchange. That was a gesture by Hamas, signaling U.S. how important they see the American role. I think that U.S. is playing a smart, a sophisticated role, because the relationship or the role as U.S. As a third party, as a superpower which intervenes here, goes beyond the hostages. U.S. has a role in future ceasefires, in de-escalation, in supporting the Palestinians, as well as the moderate Arab countries to reconstruct Gaza following the war, following the dismantle of Hamas ruling regime. So U.S., as far as we can see now plays very smartly its cards.
You think?
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.